This is Eric Hahn, editor of Marine News Magazine, recording for Maritime Reporter TV. I'm here today with Mahler, head of sales for Baltic Workboats US, to discuss the builder's presence in the Americas. Carl, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Baltic Workboats has delivered vessels to more than 20 countries globally. Will you please discuss the company's history in North America, as well as what makes its vessels attractive to customers?
So the first Baltic Workboats vessel went to Florida, to the Port Everglades Pilots Association. She's a 15-meter pilot boat. She's got twin D13 engines, traditional propeller configuration, man overboard platforms, really nice, quiet vessel. Pilots over there are really happy with it. She's been in service now for, we're going on 5 or 6 years, over 15,000 hours, and yeah.
Baltic Workboats recently delivered Shipeku, a new launch for the Laurentian Pilotage Authority. What were some of the key features, capabilities, and characteristics the pilots were looking for when they came to you for this new vessel? And how were you able to deliver to meet these demands?
So the Shipeku project was interesting because the pilots are also dealing with ice. So we wanted to give them an aluminum boat so that it was fast, but have that boat being capable to be used for as much of the year as possible. So we designed her with ice frames and reinforcements so she can work in 4 to 6 inches of ice. And then we also came up with a system that uses the waste heat from the engines to heat the sea chests so that we don't need to use keel coolers. So this saves a little bit of resistance on the hull, helps keep the speed up. It's one less thing to maintain. So far, the guys are really happy with that boat. She's got twin D13 engines, 700 horsepower each. Boat can do 32 knots, and it's very efficient. At the cruising speed of 25 knots, she's burning less than 50 gallons per hour.
Excellent. That kind of segues nicely into my next question. That's about the vessel's power and propulsion setup. Now, can you guys kind of give us a rundown of the setup, and how does this arrangement improve environmental as well as overall performance?
Okay, so like I said, it's twin D13s, regular propellers. It's an IMO3 system, so we're using meeting the latest requirements as far as emissions are concerned. She's also has 2 man overboard systems. One is like a davit, and the other is a hydraulic rescue platform that comes off the stern into the water that can scoop somebody up out of the water. There's a driving station there, so you could actually do it with just one person on board, which is really nice. Boat's really quiet, in the low 50s decibels at full speed. Firefighting capabilities, and the advanced wave piercing design is also critical to keeping the fuel consumption down.
One of the vessel's key features is its remote monitoring system. How does this work? And more importantly, how does it benefit the end user?
So the remote monitoring system is something that's really unique to Baltic Workboats vessels. It's something that we've been working on for the last 15 years. And the capabilities have really come a long way. So on our boats, you'll notice there's not many switches in the wheelhouse. Everything on the boat is controlled through PLCs, which feed back to a touch screen in the wheelhouse. So you have a roughly 12-inch screen that has a really nice HMI that you can see everything on the boat. You can control the lights, you can start the engines, you can see all of the engine sensor data. You can turn on and off equipment, just as you would with normal switches. But since this is all being done electronically, it also gives us the ability to capture all of this data in real time, store the data along with all of the sensor data at the same time. So without even being on the boat, you can see everything that's going on. And then we've added to that over the years. You have position information, weather information. We have maps. You can see, at any point in time where the boat was, how fast they were going, what their heading was, how much fuel they were burning in that moment. And then we've got it to the point where we can tell it, like, when you leave this spot, we want you to start a trip, and when you come back to this spot, we want you to end a trip. So as these boats are operating, out to the pilot station and back, on trips that they are repeatable, we can save that data. We can compare those trips to see, are we burning more fuel, things like that. And then along the way, if there's any alarms, we can see all of the data, that corresponds to that event. So from a manufacturer standpoint, it really helps us to provide better support for our customers. As you know, pilot boats, they really have to work. We can't have boats out of service for long periods of times because it's a critical service that the pilots provide. So without even being on the boat, we can look at this data, and a lot of times we can figure out what's wrong, or even narrow it down to 2 or 3 things, but that we know exactly where to look when you get in the engine room. And that has been very helpful for our customers.
So what are some other standout features aboard the vessel?
Well, of course, the wave piercing hull design. I have a little model here I can show you. This will give you an idea of the bow of the boat. And what we have here is this sort of diamond shape on the front. And the idea behind this is that when the boat encounters a wave, we want this tip to go through the wave, not over it, but through it. Once this gets immersed in water, this has a downward facing surface, which helps to pull the bow into the water. So as you're going through the wave, instead of coming over it and back down, you're going through it. We put this technology, side by side with traditional vessels, with accelerometers measuring all of the different positions in the boat. And we show a measurable reduction in the vertical accelerations in the vessels, around 25%. We also have the benefit of longer waterline length. So if you think about where a normal boat is going to come back, your waterline is going to be somewhere over here. And now we're able to utilize all of this waterline length, which is going to help us be more efficient, burn less fuel.
We understand Baltic Workboats has very recently won an order for a similar vessel in the US. What can you tell us about this?
So we just signed a contract with a well-known private customer for a sister vessel to Shipeku. And this customer has a unique need for a vessel that can operate in any weather condition. That was the most important criteria for the customer, safety and operability in any condition. And they said, well, what better platform than a pilot boat? So it's been a long process, and we're really excited about the project, and we should have the boat delivered this time next year.
So looking to the future, what's next from Baltic Workboats?
Well, it's been a very busy year for us so far. Earlier in the year, we announced that Baltic Workboats had made a 50% acquisition in Finland's largest workboat shipyard, Uki Workboats. So this is going to be a great opportunity for us to bring more people into our organization, as well as now having the capability to produce vessels up to 120 meters in length.
And we recently announced that the European Defence Fund awarded Baltic Workboats $95 million to lead the consortium to develop a new type of naval platform for European navies.
The initiative is called Euroguard, and it aims to develop a modular, semi-autonomous surface vessel platform. So Baltic Workboats is going to build the first prototype vessel in their yard in Estonia. So we're really excited about that project and being able to continue to work on these groundbreaking technologies.